Hello, 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 hello. How are we doing tonight? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We are going to be doing a couple things tonight. Welcome in, Anna. Thanks for kindling your flame, and congratulations on first. I hope you're having a good Wednesday. We are going to be doing a little react to how speedrunners beat Hollow Knight Silksong in 10 minutes. I've had this on the radar for a hot minute, but I wanted to make sure we finished Silksong. We got all the way through that first, you know? That way we saw the end of the game before checking it out. But that's what we're gonna do first, and then afterwards, because this isn't very long, it's only a 12-minute video, not super long video. But then I didn't really have a game on the game plan, so we'll go through the available backlog list and we'll pick out the next game we're gonna play. But I think we're gonna do Warframe tonight to test it. It'll be the first time playing Warframe since it came out. I played it day one for about 4 hours, didn't like it, and then never touched it again. But Boogie swears by it. He loves the game. He says it's fantastic, so we're going to give it another shot. I let him pick between having me play Warframe or Helldivers 2. He went with Warframe, so we're gonna give that a shot. All right, let's get right into it. This is How Speedrunners Beat Hollow Knight Silksong in 10 Minutes by Abyss Soft. Make sure you go down and subscribe, and if you like it, you know, like the video. And let's get into it.
To Hollow Knight, and with about 50 hours Silksong, the long-awaited sequel to Hollow Knight, and with about 50 hours worth of content to explore, you might be wondering how long it took speedrunners to break the game. Looking back to Hollow Knight,
Okay, let's think. Let's think. On the start, we spent 70 hours to beat Silksong. So I'm thinking they do it in a quarter of that, 15, 18. We'll say 18. We'll say the first runs were like 18 hours.
Some of the first glitches found near the game's release involved opening menus at specific times and breaking out of bounds, allowing runners to beat the game in under an hour.
Oh my god, at the start, under an hour? That's way quicker than I thought it would be. Shit, I was 18x off, holy.
In Hollow Knight speedrun history to 2020, we see that even more powerful glitches were discovered that make it possible to beat the game in under 20 minutes, with the current time being optimized to under 5. Given that it took 3 years to get Hollow Knight below 10 minutes, how long do you think it took Silksong?
Oh, I don't know.
Just 21 days after the game was released, Nebula had already beat it in under an hour, using some movement-based tips and other
3 weeks, chat. That's 3 weeks! And they managed to beat it in under an hour. Fucking hell. They spent less time getting it down to under an hour than we spent playing the whole fucking game. God damn.
Glitches. However, while beating Silksong in under an hour is incredible, what if I told you that a week after that, someone beat it in under 10 minutes? In today's video...
A week? So a month after the... Okay, so Hollow Knight took 3 years to beat the 10-minute barrier. Silksong took a month? That's crazy. That's such an improvement on time.
We'll look at the glitches players discovered, investigate how they work, and see how they come together in a route that beats the final boss in under 10 minutes. While timing for this run starts... Okay, hold on.
Before it starts, we got enter Bone Bottom, enter Blasted Steps, enter Citadel Front Gate, Coral Chambers Ventrica, and then Grandmother Silk. 2-minute split, 226, 145, 121, and 202. Welcome in, Mel T. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. We're watching a Silksong video by Abysoft. How speedrunners beat Hollow Knight Silksong in 10 minutes. Someone really likes Silksong? Yeah, I liked Silksong. I had a great time with it. They only have fucking 5 splits on here. Okay.
Opening cutscene, there's a small bit of setup before the run starts. The first is setting the language to Mandarin Chinese, as that has the fastest text scrolling speed, as well as
text scroll.
A few options, such as setting the frame rate lower, which makes hitting some of the tricks we'll see a lot easier. Once those settings are...
Okay, so you cut the frame rate to a quarter, basically? Okay.
Changed, it's time to begin the run. However, we won't be playing for long because we need to quit back out to the main menu.
Why? Why do we got to do that?
Need to do on the file select screen that makes the entire run possible. and that's main menu storage. Main menu storage is one of the tricks
Oh.
having a lower frame rate helps with, because you need to cancel out of selecting a new game by pressing both mouse buttons on the same graphics frame. The setup also involves quickly selecting different files where your timing is dependent on the load times you have, since if you click too early, you won't get the glitch, and if you click too late, you can't skip cutscenes. But if you're
Okay, so this is like in-game memory manipulation.
right, you'll successfully complete main menu storage and get a powerful glitch called room dupe. It might be hard to tell right now, but there are 2 instances of the first tutorial room loaded at the same time, and this is because due to main menu storage, the game loaded our fresh file and our old file. At its face, this may not seem useful, but when you go through a transition, something very strange happens. The game only transitions you from one of the rooms, which means you now have 2 different rooms loaded at the same time. The best way to think about room duping is to imagine there being a stack of 2 rooms, the loaded room, which is
Okay, why do we think this is good? What is the purpose of it? Double items, maybe? Because if you pick something up, it'll pick it up in both rooms.
is the one on top, and the active room, which is the one on bottom. When you enter a new room by taking a transition, the game pushes the loaded room down, making it the new active room, and the room you arrive in becomes the new loaded room, with the old active room getting deleted from the stack. And the real power for this glitch comes from how transitions work while room duping. Every room has transitions that lead to other rooms, and all of them are named based on where they are located. So a single transition at the top of a room is called top 1, with 2 transitions on the right of the room being called right 1, right 2, and so on. But when you enter a transition, the game doesn't look at where you entered on that screen. Instead, it looks at where you would load on the screen connected to that transition.
Oh shit, okay.
So the right 1 transition would lead to a left 1 on the connected room, and that left 1 transition is where the game looks at. However, when a room dupe is active, the game doesn't look at the room adjacent to the loaded room when it's figuring out where to load you during a transition. Instead, it looks at the active room. So let's say these are your loaded and active rooms and you exit through left 1 in the loaded room. The game would then load you into right 1 on the active room and change the rooms in the stack accordingly. You might be wondering what happens if there isn't a matching transition to load you at in the active room. In that case, the game would look at the room above the active room on the list, which is the loaded room, so you'd get the normal transition if it fails to find one in the active room.
I'm probably
So,
just
when
loud.
speedrunners start the game, they quit out, then set up main menu
I'm
storage
just
so that
loud.
when they enter the new file, they're already in a room dupe, which you can tell by the colors of the room being slightly different than normal. Then, they abuse the room dupe to quickly navigate the map. They pick up some rosaries early on as they're required later as currency, and an unfortunate side effect of room duping is that a lot of what's happening on screen takes place completely blind or obscured. But world record holder Mimi was kind enough to provide a special run where you can see what's
I'm like a
going
foot
on.
away from it.
The first 2 minutes of the run are spent getting to Bone Bottom because we need to access a bench in Shellwood for a glitch we're going to do later. So, by room duping, then doing a very specific movement pattern, we arrive at Bone Bottom. But
This is what it sounds like when I'm close to my mic. And then this is where I had the mic. It should be relatively drastic difference.
there's a problem. The path we need to take is above us, and there's no way of getting there. So, we're going to do another room dupe while the screen is completely black. Since our loaded room has 2 right side loads, but our active room doesn't have the load we need to arrive on top, we're going to enter a house in Bone Bottom to change our
I'm not
look.
gonna lie, chat. This might be over my head. I don't know that I could follow this pathing. I would just have to learn the route.
Stack until we get a load that will take us to the upper right. Once there, we'll need to break a rosary to get more beads, while being careful not to knock any into the pit, as if we miss a single one, the run will be over. Now, you might be wondering how long it takes the no major glitches speedrun to get to Bone Bottom, and the answer is 14 minutes, as they need to fight 3 bosses and take a more intended route before dropping in from the top, so we're already 12 minutes ahead in terms of progression. And
Okay,
next,
alright.
we're going to do one of the hardest skips in the game, Phasia Skip. Here's what Phasia Skip looks like. Oh, you couldn't see anything? Neither can the player, but with special footage we're able to see what's going on. On the other side of the Phasia enemy, there's a ledge you can't reach with a normal jump, but if you jump into the Phasia's AoE attack at the right angle, the knockback from the attack will give you the height and momentum you need to cross the gap.
Okay, so that's like Fireball Skip from the original game.
Do this while the screen is black. If you're familiar with blindfolded runs, audio feedback and buffered movement where you count out beats are common methods for setups, and SavvyNov found a setup for Phasia Skip that does just that. By listening...
How's that? How does that sound? I was looking at my meters and they looked fine, but I had a cable like tilted. I don't know.
Listening to Hornet's footsteps, you'll get a good idea of where you are. Then, by jumping, waiting, and jumping again, you'll be aligned for Phasia's attack and make the jump. There is another route, however, where instead of going to the Phasia, you drop down and go to the Bell Shrine. Then
okay, why do we go to the Bell Shrine?
But this route is slower than using Phasia Skip because it involves watching animations and setting up a second room dupe. So you might think, okay, if Phasia Skip is faster, why even bother going with the Bell Shrine route? And that's because if you do Phasia Skip, you need to complete the 2 hardest rooms in the run. After picking up the Cling Grip skill and doing another dupe transition, we arrive at a room with a pit that's completely obscured. Coincidentally, an NPC starts dialogue that stops you from falling in the pit. But after that, you need to travel a large distance, then climb up a specific spot with only audio feedback to guide you. By using down attacks, you can get to the approximate location. Then, by listening to the type of sound coming from Hornet's footsteps, you can narrow down your position.
Oh, we're in blasting steps here, okay.
The goal is to get on top of this raised platform, which you'll know because it's the only spot with metallic sounding footsteps, and once on it, you ascend up to the next difficult section. This may look easy with the lights turned on, but the ledges are spaced just enough that only precise jumps, guided by audio feedback and knowing the spacing of your actions, will see you through successfully when the screen is black. After those difficult rooms, we come to what is perhaps the most
So they go through here completely blind? Oh, anyone who's watched like blindfold runs, that is super not ideal. Oh, that's not fun.
Glitch in the game, and it's also the reason we needed to collect 60 beads, this bench in Shellwood Room 11. This may look like an ordinary bench, because it is, but unlocking this bench is the most important part of the run, because what we're going to do next is completely insane. First, we're going to intentionally die to the thorn hazard on the left, and the reason for this is because of how this particular death is handled while a room dupe is active. Recall that when the game needs to load you somewhere
because it puts you back,
it looks at the active room rather than the loaded room. Well, we just died, so the game needs to load us somewhere, and since we just activated and used a bench, it looks for a bench to load us at. But there's a problem. Our active room doesn't have a bench, so the game then tries to load us to the tutorial room as a failsafe. However, this also has a problem since we're still in a room dupe, and while we are loaded into the tutorial room, the room we were just in is now our active room. And it just so happens that where we get loaded in the tutorial room overlaps with the thorn patch in the active room, so we load in just to die. Fortunately, there's another built-in failsafe for this situation, where the game looks at where your hazard respawn is if you die in a hazard. So instead of endlessly getting spawned into the duped hazard, it looks at the most recent transition we exited from and spawns us there, which in this case is the room we unlocked the bench in. It's absolutely insane that Team Cherry coded in logic for all of these situations that realistically should never happen. And that's kind of crazy that they're routed into the speedrun. But because of this, we now have the room stacked in a very particular way, and it's time to break this ordinary bench by going down one room. This room is very important because it has the pond catcher enemy, and what we're going to do is manipulate her AI so she gets stuck under this small wharf, which is very hard to do since she can't touch water or she dies. But if you get her there, then die to her attack, something very special happens. When you spawn on a bench, you're put into a temporary state called no-clip, where you're invincible for a few seconds and can walk through walls. Normally, this doesn't do anything, since the state ends as the respawn animation plays out. But, because we're in a room dupe, the room we were just in becomes the active room, so the pond catcher spawns into the room with us. Now, the pond catcher has a 4-second wind-up between attacks, and part of the earlier setup was to keep her in her attack animation when we died, because when we respawn, she'll hit us while the no-clip is still active, causing it to be permanently applied to us. While under the effects of no-clip, there are a ton of things that happen. Most importantly, you no longer have collision with walls and can fly by jumping. But you can't descend without doing a downward attack, so navigation is a bit tricky. However, if there's a door that's blocked, it's now easy to get behind since you can fly through whatever's blocking it, further expanding the navigational possibilities while room duping. There is one major restriction, however. Because of how upward transitions work, the game expects you to become grounded as part of the animation when going through them. But since you're in no-clip, you never get re-grounded, so the load never completes, resulting in a hard lock. This doesn't happen with a bottom load, but since on the other side of a bottom load is a top load, it is possible you touch the top load and hard lock on the other side. And for these reasons, you're mostly limited to left and right transitions while no-clipping. Incredibly, there's still a route that only uses left and right transitions to get you to the end of the game.
The Hollow Knight speedrunners really went, we're gonna only turn left. They really did that. They went, we're gonna only turn left. Holy shit.
While room duping. And speaking of duping, once you get to the Citadel, there's a special room that needs to be accessed. Certain rooms with cutscenes will be interpreted by the game as being 2 rooms. And when you enter one of these rooms while room duping, the stack of rooms increases by 1.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy!
As recovering from entering a wrong room is nearly impossible with a larger stack. But with careful routing, you'll eventually have 2 very special rooms in the stack. One of these rooms spawns the boss when you land on the challenge point, and since we loaded in from below the challenge point, we need to slow our no-clip speed by pausing, which decreases our speed by half every time we pause, slowing us just enough that we can activate the challenge point and summon the boss. Now, at this point, we have virtually no upgrades, deal next to no damage, and have no equipable objects to make this fight easier. So, I guess it's a good thing that the other room we duped has 6 spinning saws that are hostile to enemies. With no clip still...
We're 2 minutes into the run. Oh no, that was 2 minutes into the split. 8 minutes into the run. Holy shit.
Active, all that's needed is to move to one side so the boss tries to follow you, where she then takes damage until she dies.
They found a way to cheese the boss. Okay.
So I guess not only is this a speedrun of Silksong in under 10 minutes, it's also technically a pacifist run, as not a single enemy was harmed by Hornet's sword at any point. Huge thanks to Mimi for help with this video. Be sure to check her out at the links below. And the algorithm thinks you'll like the video on screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next year.
Does it think we'll like the video? After 23 years, speedrunner spoke. Pokemon Ruby. Interesting. Okay. That was definitely a very different video than I was expecting. I was kind of just expecting someone to break down the speedrun as someone did it. But, Abysssoft, give them a like, give them a subscribe if you enjoyed the video. We'll go ahead and post that in the chat. That's the video. And then we had one more I wanted to do today. One more we wanted to do today. And that was a little bit topical, especially since we have things like the Steam machine and stuff like that coming out. And it's PC gaming is being ruined right now.
2025 is the year where...
There we go. Pop that there, and that's by the Axe Man. Give him a subscription. Like it if you like the video. And PC gaming is being ruined right now. So I know a lot of people who are trying to build PCs are having big issues with RAM right now. CPUs are going up in price and everything. It's all because of AI. So let's see what the Act Man has to say about it.
Every tech company decided collectively that you just don't deserve to afford the hobbies you enjoy anymore.
We don't. So Lana posted something in my server earlier. Exclamation point Discord if you're not in the server. We do monthly meme reviews, and there's React suggestions in there as well for Wednesdays. But they posted in, I think it was in the general channel. It was not good. Where did she post it? It was a thing about Jeff Bezos said years ago that people didn't want PCs anymore. They wanted to rent them. That PCs were antiquated tech, and I feel like we're hitting that point where big AI companies think that that's the truth, and frankly, we don't. We don't want to rent our PCs. We want to own our hardware. We want to build our PCs and or buy a pre-built. You don't have to build it. I get it if you're not a builder, but we don't want a GeForce Now experience or a Google Stadia experience to play our games.
You want to buy an Xbox? Oh, nope. That price has gone up. You don't want to own your games? You want to just pay for Game Pass? Nope. Oof, that's going up
don't want to do that.
Do you want to continue to keep the lights on in your house? Oh, that's good.
So I don't know if anyone else has this issue. Game Pass, a lot of people were complaining Game Pass went up in price, which, don't get me wrong, terrible thing. Game Pass going up in price, not fun. But the bigger complaint I have with Game Pass is I don't get my money's worth. And what do I mean by that? I mean, there's so many options, so much that I never play or beat anything on Game Pass. And so month over month, I'm just wasting money if I have Game Pass because I don't actually play any games. Like, I had Game Pass for like 9 months and I only beat like 3 games off the service that entire time. I could have bought, I think I had the $15 version. I could have bought like those 3 new games in that time, beat the games, and still owned them, right? So it just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense as a value proposition for me. I know that's not how most people feel, but that's just where I'm at with Game Pass.
That's gonna be twice as expensive. While it would be impossible to cover all of the various ways life has gotten worse in 2025, spoilers, it's all because of AI and the investments in
True.
That is like a can of worms. It's not a can of worms. It's like a drum of worms. We don't need to open that and go that deep, right? But suffice to say, things are getting worse and more expensive at a...
What has gotten worse for you guys? Has anything in particular gotten worse outside of, obviously, we're going into tech talk right here? Is there anything else that's gotten worse for you? Because I know people were saying groceries have gotten better for them over the past year or two compared to a few years ago. So what has gotten worse? What was better back in the old days, as they say?
Rapid rate. Okay, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking specifically about the RAM shortage crisis. Now, for those of you blissfully unaware of what RAM is in a computer, it's random access memory, and the more you have of it, the more your computer can handle multiple tabs and multiple different things going on at once.
That would be your Chrome tabs, guys. Your ASMR Dommy Mommy that you have to leave on 24 hours a day in 12 different tabs eats up all your RAM.
Essential component of building any PC, and as a YouTuber, someone that heavily relies on Premiere Pro, I have 128 gigabytes of RAM. Just to start.
Yes, sir.
To give you a...
I got 32. What do you guys have? I have 32 DDR4 CL32, I believe. I have it up clocked to 3600. Groceries have gotten worse for me here, to be honest. I can't have my snacks that I really want for the price I used to. So I feel like for me, 5 years ago, I was spending about $75 a week on groceries. This is for 2 people, mind you. And then usually there'd be $75 a week, but then there'd be like 1 week where I'd spend like an extra $50 to re-up on the essentials, like a big bag of rice, big bag of beans, that kind of thing, right? Now I spend about $150 on pretty much the same stuff, right? Which sounds insane. It's over double, right? But about a year and a half ago, I was spending closer to 175. So it's come back down for me, at least for the stuff because I have a very specific situation because my partner's vegetarian. They're also narcoleptic. They also they have very strict dietary restrictions they have between these 2 different things. that make it to where like they have to eat every 2 hours all day that they're up. And so we have to get a lot of very specialized snack stuff for them. And that shit's expensive as fuck. That said, I'm saving about $25 when I go this year, or 2025 compared to like 2023. It was so expensive for me back then for basically the same stuff. What snacks do you get normally that you can't afford? Because that's unfortunate. Because snacks are like, that's the thing you want. That's the thing you just, that's the thing that you just want to like be able to kind of live your life with, right? Like it's not a meal. Like it's the thing you want to feel that dopamine hit with, right?
A good idea of where we're at. Yeah, you can see all the tabs I have. That's what I need my random access memory for.
Yeah.
An idea of how much more expensive RAM has gotten. I ordered 128 gigs in April of this year, and I paid.
Okay, before he says what he paid, I paid for 32 gigs of DDR4 at the time. I paid $219. I'm seeing he has 64 of DDR5 for the same fucking price, or per 5 kit. That's crazy. That means RAM got cut in half over the years.
Costing 110. This same purchase would have cost me literally double that. Since just April, the cost of the RAM I purchased has almost doubled in price. But
it's about 4x for a lot of people now, I think. Anything really but some of the homemade snacks I enjoy are just expensive to make now. Oh, yeah. Like getting all the ingredients and stuff to make them. I could see that.
It's not just RAM. Even external storage has gotten more expensive. Or it has just been...
I saw this video is a few weeks old now, 12 days ago. So it's not going to have updated prices on storage. I saw a 2 terabyte SSD, an NVMe. When I bought my 2 terabyte drive, I paid, it was $199. I saw a 2 terabyte drive for $600. It is fucking crazy out there. Bookman Oyote, I hope you've had a good Wednesday. We are reacting to an Actman video. PC gaming is being ruined right now. It's talking about RAM prices and AI. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And AMD just announced a couple days ago that they're raising their prices on all of their product stack. And I want to be very clear. GPUs I get, because the DDR7X, like the GDR7X that is going to be put in GPUs, that's going to be hard to get because all of the RAM going to data centers. I get that. Understandable. They're increasing their CPU prices as well. And what that means is that the wafers that they put the products on are getting more expensive because of the shortage. Because there's no other reason that CPU should go up. They don't rely on RAM at all. But the company that makes the physical thing that you put the chip on and or you put the die on for the RAM and stuff like that, or it's the same companies. That means those companies are running into a supply issue. So all parts are about to shoot way up in price.
Completely made unavailable. We'll get to the reasons why in a little bit. But
yeah, I would put your PC upgrades as far away as you can.
I'm a YouTuber and I like having SSDs. And the order went through, and then the day later, I got a call saying the order had been canceled because they didn't have it. So they allowed me to purchase it, but then told me that I had to manually cancel the order myself.
Huh?
What? The theme you'll notice is that these important computer parts are increasing in price at a rapid rate.
Yeah.
But what do you...
Astronomical rates. So did you know, maybe he'll touch on this. Microsoft, I guess, fired top-level executives over the past couple weeks because they were not able to get RAM for the, I believe it's the Surface devices that they make. They weren't able to get enough to allocate for their orders that they had planned for next quarter. So they're not going to be able to fulfill their RAM orders in their like the Microsoft tablets slash PCs. And so they had to they fired high level executives over it, which sounds insane to me because they put in, what was it, $80 billion into the OpenAI fund. So like they're kind of at fault and they shot themselves in the foot about it. It's kind of great.
Complaining about? Aren't you a good consumer? You don't mind paying 2 times the price for a thing that I bought in April for half the price? It's like the housing market, man. Everything's like 10 times more expensive than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. My house, I was talking about this earlier in the group chat. My house, I comfortably bought my house at the start of COVID, bought a $150,000 house. You guys know how much my house is worth now? You want to know how much my house is worth now? I've not changed jobs. I've not made any improvements to it. Nothing. My house is now worth $350,000. I have done nothing. I have done nothing to this. It's insane. 2.5x my value just existing. It's fucking crazy.
So bad for Gen Z. I feel like I just barely snuck in. I just barely got through and able to afford a somewhat comfortable life. And now it's like, dog, Gen Z can't even afford to build a computer anymore. Why is this happening? Well, AI data centers are dumping billions and billions of dollars in order to allow DoorDash drivers to fake deliver your food to you, among many other horrible things that generative AI has been doing.
Have we had any bad DoorDash experiences like that? Does anyone have like DoorDash where they just fucking drop it off and disappear, take your food? I haven't had that issue. Usually something will be wrong with it, don't get me wrong, but I've heard stories, but I've never had it happen myself.
Poisoning your water supply? Oh yeah, you like that, don't you? Just drink the poison. What are you complaining about? Just drink the poison. Raising your electrical bill? You better believe it. I got something in the mail the other day, said, hey, hope you don't mind, turning off your lights and making a conscious choice to use less electricity this month.
They are subsidized. Oh, it's so crazy. They're subsidizing AI data centers by increasing everyone's bill. They're making the general public pay for this in large scale areas. So, no, I've had the opposite side of the experience where they give you too much food? What do you mean you had the opposite side of the experience? You're talking about DoorDash, right? Yeah. What is the opposite side of the experience? What is they give you more food? They show up with someone else's order? Maybe. No, so I heard about this electricity thing where if you're, I think it was like Seattle, they had a big plant open up and they added extra money onto everyone in the area's electricity bill. And the first thing it made me think, if anyone's ever lived in an apartment with a pool, anytime they drain the pool and refill the pool during summers, it adds to your water bill for the month, right? It adds to your water bill for the month. And most of the time you're like, okay, whatever. Spread it across everyone. It'll be like a $12 charge, right? That's what it averages out to, But I lived in one year where they had a leak in the pool and they were constantly having to empty it and refill it, empty it and refill it as people came out and patched it and tried to fix it, and it kept having issues for like 2 weeks, right? We got our water bill that month and every single person had almost $400 extra added to their water bill for that month because of how they were trying to fix the pool. And I was just like, bro, our water bill was normally like $27. I was expecting, maybe a $50 or $60 bill, not a $350 bill. It was so bad. They showed up with food I'd never even ordered. I don't have DoorDash. So someone else just ordered food and you got it? I mean, I have had pizza delivery come to my house that I haven't ordered, that I have taken. I've paid, I've paid for someone else's food and taken it before, but that's I feel like that's the same idea, right? Same concept. That's crazy though, because they should have GPS. DoorDash requires GPS, don't they? They have to. They have to require GPS.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you telling me to do that for?
Sorry. I'm getting into it a bit.
But because all of these AI data centers are basically just running thousands and thousands of computers, they need thousands and thousands, millions of sticks of RAM.
They do have it? Yeah, that's what I would figure.
Try to go to new.
Because I'm just thinking, like, I delivered pizza for a local chain at one point when I was a bit younger, and they didn't require GPS, but it was heavily encouraged. And that was, you know, technically DoorDash probably existed at the time, but it wasn't as popular yet. But I can't imagine you would want to try to do DoorDash without it.
Best Buy, Amazon, looking for RAM, you're either going to find prices that have increased by 2 times, or the thing is just not available.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist.
It's push by the tech companies to heavily invest and dump all their chips into AI is having cascading ramifications across multiple different industries.
Did anyone pay attention to CES this year? So Dell came out. I didn't think I was gonna go W Dell today. So Dell came out during CES and they said consumers do not care about AI, so we're removing AI from our product stack going forward this year. Dell just straight up said it. They were like, the general consumer has not latched on and they don't like AI in their system. We're not adding it. And I didn't think I would ever say W Dell because I've thought Dells are pieces of garbage for years. They have been for a long time. But at least they know the general consumer doesn't fucking want it.
It's not just computers that are getting more expensive. Potentially Half-Life 3 and the Steam Machine have been delayed because of RAM shortages.
Oh no!
The video game console also uses RAM. Oh, and check this out. RAM price increases could see next generation console release delayed. They already increased the price of the...
Sony said they're probably going to delay. I hadn't heard the Steam Machine being delayed. That's unfortunate. So let me know if you think this is a good idea for a video, because I want to do it if I can justify it. For all the VTubers in the chat, I really want to do a capture card into the Steam Machine versus just having a stronger PC video. Because I know, especially right now with people not wanting to upgrade to, you know, $2,000 to $5,000 graphics cards and RAM being insane, if someone has a system and they can buy the rumored Steam Machine at the price, it's rumored to be around $800. If it comes out at that, would it be worth it to buy that $800 Steam Machine and keep your current rig as a capture machine and game that way versus just having a stronger PC? I think that'd be interesting. I think it'd be interesting to see. For VTubing specifically, like for streaming specifically, because our stuff takes a lot of resources.
The Xbox this year, twice. Are they going to do that again with RAM shortages? What are they going to do?
They did. They've raised it a third time.
Sucks.
Fucking thing sucks.
This sucks, man. But hey, don't lose hope, because their ultimate plan is to sell you a computer that you rent. At least that's my personal theory. They want everyone to run a cloud gaming computer. I don't know how that works, but this just seems like yet another push in the direction of you will own nothing and be happy. You will rent everything and be miserable.
So my question is, what is the scalability of it? Like, if every single person is on the cloud renting stuff, and the reason I ask and I wonder about this is because NVIDIA has already come out. They have their GeForce Now app or whatever, where you can stream games straight through the NVIDIA app. And they've already come out and they're limiting people who pay for that service to 100 hours a month now. You can only game for 100 hours a month now on it. And like, you're paying full price for the service. It's not like tiered out to where you pay more to play more. It's just, you get 100 hours for the month and that's it. Is that just what the internet will be for people who want a game? Like, that sounds miserable. Because like a working adult who only plays, you know, 10 to 20 hours a week, sure, 100 hours is fine, but like the majority of people who game are not someone with a full-time job. They're like the vast majority are people in school, be it college or high school or whatever, and or people who have, you know, a bunch of part-time jobs in the game on the side. Like 100 hours a month is way too limiting, I think.
Here's another thing. Building a PC, especially for the first time, is a really fun experience as you learn what all the different parts do, and
I loved it. I loved it.
Fits your needs best, and you customize
Linus!
your own PC build and you make it your own. It's such a fulfilling experience once you finally get it up and running and you can really experience gaming at its highest potential. I have become a PC master race.
Yeah, PCMR!
Not entirely, but
it's one of those things. I always thought it was such a clown show of a statement, PC Master Race. And then after being on PC for so many years, I'm like, yeah, I kind of get it.
But I do understand that PC, in terms of capabilities, like this is where you can max out. It sucks that this too is being made more inaccessible. You know what's so ironic is that companies like Xbox always like to tout how accessible all their games are and how they're making all of these accessible controllers for people with disabilities. But when it comes to
okay, so that for anyone who doesn't know, Xbox goes and they make so many, it's like 30 plus now different controllers to deal with disabilities and your ability to play if you have different disabilities, be it, you know, you lose motor function, and you like there's that guy who does streams where he plays on like a saxophone. Like they have a controller like that where you blow into it and you blow in different notes to make different sounds to do actions in games. They have stuff for, you know, if you can only play with your feet because you don't have arm access. Like it's so cool. I shit talk Xbox and Microsoft a lot. Their accessibility options they're building into controllers and games are very welcome for the industry.
Actually accessing the components needed to enjoy gaming, nope. I just need like $1,000, please. Tangents aside,
I'll take $1,000.
All AI companies a very pleasant bankruptcy. And look, I've tried to give AI a chance. I've tried to see. I think when AI was first being pushed, like a year or two after the Will Smith spaghetti stuff, like a year or two, I was like, okay,
I never even saw that. What the fuck is that? What the hell?
What it's used for. I have seen nothing but garbage. Even Merriam-Webster, the dictionary, decided that slop was the word of the year. And I think that just sums it up perfectly. 2025 is the year of slop.
Slop was the word of the year. I heard they were trying to get 6-7 in as the word of the year, but it's numbers, so they didn't get it through. I didn't realize slop won. That's crazy.
Question is, are you gonna eat it? Are you a pig? Are you gonna stand for this?
No.
You know,
that's why we're playing our backlog, chat. That's why we're not buying new stuff. We're playing a backlog.
Bad video games. I've praised awesome video games, but those times where I've complained or said, "Hey, why is this game so bad?" It really feels like child's play compared to what's actually happening. That was just me complaining and being a nerd. This is like we actually have to fight against these companies because they're making everybody's life worse. Like it's reached a very real point that I honestly didn't anticipate it to. Every single day, it feels like AI is ruining something new. I cannot go a single day. If I hop on Twitter, I will see
you guys
complaining about it.
You guys saw there was fucking Elon Musk came out on Twitter and he was like, Grok is not responsible for all the underage minors being put into sexual positions and in bikinis and stuff like that, because it's the tool being used. It's the users who are responsible. You see that shit? Fucking unhinged. It's because they allowed other people to edit people's pictures on their fucking site. It's so bad. It's such a bad take.
AI. Fake DoorDash orders, fake construction photos, fake homework assignments, fake everything. Just a Pandora's box of industrial scale bullshit polluting both the planet and the basic social contract. DoorDash driver accepted the drive, immediately marked it as delivered, and submitted an AI generated image of a DoorDash order. What's that? You wanted to eat food?
That's so bad.
Bro, SpongeBob predicted this. This is holographic meatloaf. They put holographic meatloaf on his DoorDash order.
Holographic meatloaf? My favorite!
Yeah, here's another example.
I've never had meatloaf.
I ordered a Synology NAS, which is basically a network storage device for my home. This has not increased in price, but the storage inside of it, currently unavailable. This is what you'll find when you try to search up SSDs, RAM, any sort of internal storage. It's gone. It's all gone. Okay, here's an order from 2023. 64 gigs of RAM, $115. Post your predictions in the comments. How much you think this costs now? Yep,
$6.99.
Okay, easy enough. $400.
Damn.
That's a 4 times price increase. It's DDR4. It's not even DDR5. Oh wait.
Meatloaf is good if made right. Yeah. So I never had it growing up or anything like that. My mom never made it. Like we didn't ever have meatloaf. And by the time I got to be an adult and I saw it, I was like, so is it just like a block of meat with ketchup? And someone was like, yeah, it's a meatloaf. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't sound good. I don't know. Maybe it is good. Maybe it's delicious. But I never grew up on it. And it does not look appetizing as an adult to me.
It's just an ordinary... Oh my goodness!
$6.44.
No, that's septupled in price. That's quintupled. This is $650 for some. 2 years ago, I bought for $120. The RAM, the 64 gigabytes of RAM I purchased in 2023 has more than quintupled in price.
Yep. It's crazy.
I love it. I love consuming.
Yeah. I went to post this tweet, and then the top of my feed.
Especially if it's good if you bake it with bell peppers and onions. See, that sounds good. I like meat, but like for me, if I have bell peppers and onions, I'm gonna want like a steak with that. Like bell pepper, onion, some steak. That's good. A little bit of mashed potatoes with cheese, sour cream and onions, you know, like, oh, I don't know. I think I missed the meatloaf train. I think if someone made it for me and I tried it, I would probably be like, oh, that's delicious. Maybe I would like it. But I feel like I see it and then I'm like, other meat could go in its place.
Things ChatGPT told a mentally ill man before he murdered his mother.
Damn.
If we stay on this topic for too long, we're going to be diving deep into the iceberg. So yeah, basically AI data centers are buying up. They're essentially monopolizing all of these critical PC components, but RAM and storage are not just critical for PCs, but also for consoles.
Yeah, they're critical for everything.
Effectively just pre-built.
You're gonna I don't know if he's going to touch on this. You're going to see it in the phone industry as well. Your phones need RAM the same way, you know? Like, we've already had laptop manufacturers. So last year, all laptop companies made, like, consciously, they made the decision. They agreed as manufacturers that 8 gigs was no longer enough, and every laptop shipped with 16 gigs. You already have all of them backpedaling and going back to 8 gigs this year for their next run-up lines, because that's all they can afford to put in the laptops and keep them affordable for people.
Smaller PCs that can run video games. All of this is happening. Everything is increasing in price, so you can enjoy videos like this. Let's go back to this article by
Holy
Tom Henderson.
compression.
RAM
Whoa.
price increase could see next generation console release delayed. We mentioned that we had heard that there are already ongoing talks at the high levels on what the RAM availability could mean for the next generation. From what we've heard, the industry
means we're not getting games.
concerned about RAM availability and what that is going to mean for mass producing consoles at a competitive price point. Lord knows Xbox is being very competitive these days. A friendly reminder, Xbox Series X during Black Friday was outsold by the Next Playground, a borderline Kinect ripoff.
It's so funny to me It's so funny to me that Xbox could not make the Kinect work. No one wanted it. People hated it. And this knockoff subscription-based little Kinect box outsold them during the holiday. All that thing is that he's talking about, all it is it's a box that it's just a fucking camera with motion tracking, the same way a Kinect was, and or the PlayStation toy back on, like PlayStation Eye toy back on PS2, right? Same idea. And you can't buy any games for it. It's a subscription. So you just have a perpetual subscription service that you're paying for, and you can get every game released on it, right? So they basically took Xbox's concept of Game Pass, but for ARM-based mobile games, and combined it with Xbox's idea for Kinect, and is beating them both. It's so silly. It's so ridiculous.
Look, okay, I'm gonna say this here. If you still want to buy like a really good PC, wow, you might have to go with a pre-built, but if you go to Costco or Best Buy, they have some really good deals. I don't know how long those are gonna last. That's just a friendly tip. Honestly, the RAM in some of those PC setups might be worth like $500 just on its own now. Thank God for Costco. Thank God for Costco, and fuck Microsoft. RAM modules have increased in price by several $100% in the past few months due to the demand for AI. And when the pursuit of AI seemingly not going anywhere anytime soon, RAM availability could continue to be a bottleneck. Or at the very least, the RAM shortage will mean that prices will continue to hike. This is
what's the upper ceiling, I wonder?
For the console market, as consoles have historically and dominated the landscape of casual gamers, people who don't want to put $2,000 into a gaming setup.
Yeah, because you can just pick it up and play it. Like, I cannot stress the overimportance of being able to go, hey, my son wants to be able to game, being able to go into a Walmart, a Best Buy, a Target, what have you, just drop a few $100 and take home a system that you can just pop on the shelf, pop in a game, and they can play it. You don't have to worry about building it. You don't have to worry about setup. You don't have to worry about, are we getting a wireless keyboard and mouse? Are they going to be wired? Do I have a desk? Where am I going to set this up? What do you mean I need a monitor? I can't just put it on the TV and have it play as well? No. People just want to be able to plug it in and play it and have it fucking work.
Something that's like $400, $450, or even like $350, right? This is bad for Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. This is bad for the entire video game industry. It's honestly crazy. And I'm trying to stay reserved, but this does piss me off a lot. This most recent generation of consoles was also like not the cheapest.
Hold on, what was that? What was that pricing? Flash that too quick off screen.
But this does piss me off a lot. This most recent generation of consoles was also like not the.
All right. Series S started at $379. It's now $400. For the 1 terabyte, it's $449. Series X was $549. It's gone up to $600. Disc, it looks like it all went up $50. 2 terabyte Galaxy. I believe the 2 terabyte Galaxy now is like $100 more than that, though.
Cheapest. From what we understand, the situation has led console manufacturers to debate whether the next generation of consoles should be delayed from their intended.
I will say this is the first mid-generation in a long time I've not picked up the Pro version. Like I didn't pick up the mid-cycle model refresh because shit's too expensive.
27 to 28 release window, with the hope that RAM manufacturers will be able to build out their infrastructure to produce more RAM, thereby allowing prices to drop. Here's the thing I think we're realizing is that when these multi-trillion-dollar companies are able to buy up
Bless you.
Massive quantities of like consumer goods, they can afford it. We can't.
Yeah,
so
because they got 80 billion in them.
Not 100% motivated by the push for generative AI. It most certainly has something to do with the motivation to deprive us of the right to owning things. And what was it, like 5 months ago? We had that whole stop killing games fiasco. It's like, God, these companies suck so much, man. Now, I'm no economist, so take this with a grain of salt. But if my assumptions are correct, if my vibe is on point, most times when prices increase, they don't go back to the level they were at.
So we have a few recent examples of this. Cars in 2020, 2021, because of COVID and everything, car prices fucking skyrocketed. They never came back down. Cars are still obscenely expensive for a new vehicle. The car I currently have is a 2017 Passat VW. $17K brand new off the lot for that, right? That's how we paid a little bit less because ours was used, but a brand new one would have been $17K. Exact same car, no extra bells and whistles or anything like that. For the current version is $28K, right? Prices never came back down on that. We saw consoles, another good example. PS5 is still worth the same as it was day one. It's 5 years old now. We used to be able to go. PS4 is a good example of this. PS4 came out at $400. By the end of that life cycle, you could pick up a PS4 Slim all day long for like $199, maybe $249. It's to the point where when the prices go up now, they don't come down.
So for the foreseeable and long-term future, we have no idea how long this crisis and these massive price hikes are going to last or affect the video game industry. Dog, these tech companies suck, man.
I'm estimating 2 years.
Ruining everything. It's just ruining everything, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Looking at all my past orders and all the stuff I've bought over the years to build my PCs. And here's the thing. Unlike the boomers, I don't want to gatekeep success and enjoyment from younger generations. Like, I want Gen Z and Gen Alpha to be able to enjoy the same luxuries that I was allowed to enjoy.
Yeah, you're supposed to leave the next generation to be able to have an easier life than you did for the same amount of effort. If they put in the same amount of effort, they should have it easier because of advances in technology and advances in economy, to where their life isn't as difficult as you had it, because you put it in the work to make it less difficult for them. Like, that's the whole fucking point. That's how we go and thrive as a society. But there's so many people who have this mentality now of, you hear it a lot. Like, you'll hear the stories about, you complain about, having to take a bus to school, and, your parents will be like, back in my day, we had to walk uphill both ways. Like, that's the kind of sentiment you hear. I feel like that's translated so much to people just calling younger people lazy and not wanting to work, when the reality is the world's just in a much more fucked up place than it was even 10 years ago.
No, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. The price of everything is going to increase, but at least we'll have Charlie Kirk and Jeffrey Epstein dancing in a conga line. At least we'll have that.
Oh, God.
We'll have very realistic footage of Will Smith eating spaghetti. That's worth it, right?
I know I've kind of rambled, but the last thing I want to cover is this clip right here that was posted to Reddit from Gamers Nexus. Now, let's
we love
together.
Steve at GN.
This isn't a gaming computer problem. This isn't a DIY enthusiast build PCs problem. This is an everybody problem. Big businesses can outbid you and then lease it back to you later. We're seeing some parallels here.
Buy the supplies.
Welcome in, chess piece. Thank you for kindling your flames.
Deprive the consumer of the ability to build their own and then rent it back to them. Microsoft and Xbox are kind of employing that strategy, but yeah, so he's on point already.
To the housing market, where private equity can create a positive feedback loop that benefits itself.
Can't afford a computer, can't afford a house, can't afford to live, can't afford to enjoy life.
Yup.
Buying homes takes homes off the market. That increases the cost of homes. That puts more people into rentership, which increases the cost of rent because there are fewer homes on the market and more people are renting those homes. And
something's got to change, man. Something's got to change. I rented a home for 5 years because I couldn't afford to buy one. I had to save up for a very long time. All that money I spent on rent could have been spent on a mortgage, but houses are too expensive. I literally cannot afford to get a house in the town that I grew up. This guy's speaking
me too.
way too much truth.
Me too. If I wanted to get a house similar to the same size as my current one in the town I grew up, it was going to be about $700,000. Actually insane.
case, private equity just maintains control over it and continues to snowball that. Revenue is a lot more stable if you can lease and rent people a bunch of shit instead of selling it to them outright. We see that with NZXT and with Fragile, with the rental computer program as a direct parallel. Private equity and these large companies can outbid anybody, anytime. And in the case of housing, they can just turn housing into money and make that a perpetual cash flow cycle. In the case of what we're talking about today, we think the same thing is happening with computers, where the dream once might have been to own a home, and maybe that dream got adjusted to, well, I'll just try and buy a nice car instead. That gets adjusted for some people to, I'll just buy a nice computer. I can afford that. People will continually adjust to what they think is achievable. Maybe it's a nice computer in the instance of
moving the goalposts.
And they adjust their ambitions. But now, private equity and these large companies want to make sure that you not only rent your home and lease your car, but subscribe to your computer.
Not just the computer, they want you to rent all of your entertainment. You will not own entertainment.
I hate it so much. How many subscription services do you guys have? How many different services do you guys pay for basic things that you just always had before? Like, the easy one is like paying for internet on consoles. That's a big easy one. Didn't have to do that back in the day, right? Internet was garbage back then. Made sense. Now you pay for it. But like when the Switch came out and it was like, free internet, and then eventually they made you pay after 2 years? Like, that shit sucked. But there's so many subscriptions. I canceled and reduced. I had 22 different subscriptions. I'm down to 4 because there were so many that I just did not actually need for things. But it was all stuff I was just used to having, so I had it. So like right now, all I have is Twitch Turbo, YouTube Premium, Crunchyroll. Maybe that's it. Maybe I only have 3. Adobe. That's the 4th one. Yeah, that's it. Those are my 4 subscriptions. But I know a lot of people with a shit ton.
Buy DVDs or Blu-rays, you will purchase a subscription to Netflix or Hulu or Fubu or Flarfa or Bingus. The way he summarized that so quickly really does kind of drive home the point that, yeah, all these tech companies and these fucking oligarchs, they don't want you to enjoy life. They just want to siphon everything they can out of you. You know what AI is? You know what AI is?
What is it? What is it, X-Man?
This is the best analogy for it. AI is basically the Tree of Might from Dragon Ball Z. It's a massive giant plant, and all it does is it sucks all of the life energy out of the planet and all of its inhabitants just so it can grow a few handfuls of fruit that the strongest fighter in the universe is going to eat to get more powerful. That's what AI is. It's a Tree of Might. It's sucking the life out of everything just to siphon it all the way to the top. This does. I don't know if I can finish this clip. This is actually making me angry in this video.
That's an analogy to have.
Yeah, I'll link that clip in the description if you want to watch the rest of it. I think this video has gone on for too long, but the point remains. Look, I know the running joke is like you're gonna own nothing and be happy. You should be miserable for all eternity. Don't settle for this.
Nope.
Keep complaining about it. Keep fighting against it. Keep posting on Twitter or Reddit or YouTube or whatever.
I think the biggest thing I can tell you guys is if you're wanting a PC, you're wanting new stuff, just get comfortable playing older stuff. Get comfortable with it. Try to ride it out because it's not going anywhere for a while. It sucks. It sucks so bad. We're seeing a massive retro revival. Like, did you guys know that the 3DS is back up to selling for almost $300 because people are like going and playing where the good games were instead of paying for the Switch 2? Because they're like, shit's too expensive. We'll go play the old stuff with the good games.
And pushing back against this fucking rent-based economy where you have to rent the ability to just enjoy basic necessities, okay? You gotta fight for your right to party, all right? And like with Stop Killing
Oh,
Games, we
God.
have power in numbers. The more we push back against all this bullshit AI stuff and rapid anti-consumerism, the better chance we have. Or at the very least, that's what we can do. Even something as simple as leaving a like on this.
I also expect a rise in emulation. I don't disagree. I was just talking to Lana. She's in the stream occasionally. I was just talking to her earlier today about how one of Sony's biggest mistakes was leaving the Vita to the wayside, because the Vita has become like one of the most popular emulation devices because there was no good Vita games on it, really. There's a couple, like Persona 4, good example. Persona 4 Golden was a fantastic Vita game, but for the most part, what people use the Vita for is emulating stuff, emulating old PlayStation games, old N64 games, Game Boy Advance, all that. I expect to see a big rise in emulation. We've said it, we've seen it, not so much said it. We've seen it for a while now, where the statement is, if we don't own our games, then piracy isn't theft. That's the statement. That's the general vibe. And it's been used for all forms of media, but the most recent one is for games. That's how it's used for games. And, you know, I've always been a big proponent of, if you can buy it from the source and still access it on modern equipment, you should not pirate it. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, the big one is, a lot of people pirate Nintendo games because they're like, I don't have access to this. You don't have it on the shop. I can't buy it. You shut down the Wii U shop, the Wii shop, stuff like that. So you can't buy it anywhere. And so if that's the case, then emulate it all day long. But if it's like, a good example would be if, you know, I wanted to play Hades 2, right? I have every possible way to go out and buy Hades 2. So I think emulating Hades 2 is not something I would be comfortable doing. I would feel like that is over the line. But at this point, if everything's just going to be a rental, man, then fuck it. Who cares? Welcome in, Lana. Thanks for kindling your flame. I may have already said that. I was ranting a little bit.
This video, promoting it in the algorithm, leaving a comment, sharing your thoughts, relating with other people who feel the same way, going on Reddit or Twitter and like.
If I can't buy it, if it's not available, exactly. If you don't have a reasonable way to access the content, I won't feel bad about pirating it. I think that's perfectly reasonable. I've just always been against the idea of, if I do have an easy way to access it, I probably shouldn't pirate it. Like, you know, if I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn, like, I have a PlayStation 4, I have a PlayStation 5, I don't have any right to go emulate that game.
Commenting on those, like,
welcome in, Glow.
Weak men create hard times cycle. So it's time to step up and be strong men so we can create good times.
Yeah, be strong men, chat. Be strong men.
Subscribe to Actman TV for more
Statistically
awesome
speaking,
content.
this is Twitch.
All right,
You already
everyone,
are.
That's all I got for today. This is the Actman signing out.
Oh, that was the Actman. PC gaming is being ruined right now. That is the link to the video. Go drop him a subscription and a like on the video if you enjoyed what you saw. I am such a strong man. Hell yeah. We need to get you in a powerlifting competition. So yeah, so that was a little ranty. Everyone, I'm sorry. I got a little passionate during that one, because a lot of this shit sucks, man. Like, it's so ass having to see, like, as I said, this video is 12 days old. So let me see about pulling this up. Micro Center. And then let's see. RAM 32 gigs DDR5. Okay. The FlareX is sitting at oh, that's not what I want to do. How the fuck did I do that? Okay, I don't know why it's not letting me capture. Oh, we'll use our second capture source. Boom. Yep. Boom. Okay. Sometimes having this big ass monitor makes stuff just fucking do wonkiness. Yeah. So we got $379 for 32 gigs. But this is Micro Center's in-house brand, right? So if we go to PC parts and we just go to regular RAM, and we just go to regular DDR5, Crucial, $400, 32 gigs, 64 gigs for $876. It's let me find my RAM kit. Hold on. Let's see. This is close. Z5 Neo. This is close. There we go. Yeah, Z5 RGB series is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 32 gigs of the RGB series. There we go. This right here, this is the current version of my RAM, same kit. $479. $479. This is the DDR5 version. So like if I wanted to build a new PC with this same RAM, this is what I would have to spend on RAM right now. It's crazy. Here's a question asking your opinion. With the consumer market being so unstable, maybe dwindling, do you think people will get good at repairing their own machines again? I would like to hope so. So whenever I do build new, I want to make an art piece of the life of my current PC, because my current rig has now had 3 different CPUs in it, 3 different power supplies in it, 2 different RAM kits, 2 different CPU coolers, and 4 different GPUs. It's all the same rig. Like, I've not had to hop off, switch platforms, anything like that. That's all things that have come and gone over the years of this system. I built this system in 2016, 2017. When did Shadowbringers come out? Shadowbringers release date helps, because I built it. So it came out 2019. I built it the year before. So 2018. Shadowbringers is 2019. Yeah, so 2018. So this PC is 8 years-ish old. And it's had all those different things come and go inside it. But I think a lot of people are going to, at the very minimum, I think a lot of people are going to be on DDR4 machines. I do think a lot of people are going to be on DDR4 machines. I actually saw that DDR3 prices were going back up because some people are upping the RAM capacity in their DDR3 machines. They're still rocking. There's people playing Arc Raiders, is what I heard. People playing Arc Raiders on an i7, like 4970K, and a 1080 Ti. Like that's like a common, like, budget Arc Raiders build. And yeah, and it runs 1080p, medium settings, 60 FPS. You know, like, people are optimizing. I think the big one, what's really going to happen is game devs are going to have to start optimizing their games again. Just flat out. They're just going to have to, because, I mean, for the longest time, consoles were the driver. Like, consoles pushed, for those who don't know, like, consoles pushed different developers to work with them for exclusives. Nintendo's a good example. Monolith Soft works for Nintendo. Game Freak works for Nintendo. Neither of them are Nintendo owned. I think Monolith is now, but it wasn't originally. And they pretty much forced them to do force is a strong word. They paid them to do exclusive on their system, but they basically, over the years, worked until they could make good games specific to those systems and their limitations. And because we've had so many games that go cross-platform everywhere, they just expect it. People just expect it to work everywhere, but no one has a system they're optimizing for anymore. And so games take a lot longer to get functioning on lower end hardware. Larian did. What did Larian do? They optimized. Baldur's Gate 3 runs significantly better than when it came out. Absolutely. Rip computers. Yeah. Glow. I mean, so Glow. So this. Okay. Let's see what Glow's PC would cost right now. The PC I wanted to build Glow. I wanted to get Glow on. Wanted to go an AMD bundle. Hello, PC. Can you work? We wanted to go an AMD bundle. We wanted to go a 9800X 3D system. Okay. This is with 749. That's actually not too bad. 749. We don't want a 650E. We want at least an 870. A 670 would be fine, but we can go up to, what do you think? Let me move out of the way a little bit. Would you prefer this whiteboard here? Is my cursor on screen? You guys can't see my cursor. Okay. You got this whiteboard there. It works if I highlight. Interesting. Do you like the whiteboard or do you like the blackboard? You don't care as long as it works. Okay, well, we're going to go build with it on the white one then. Black. Here's my logic, Lana. The white one's $200 less somehow. Because this is an 870E. That's a Strix one. White shows dust. It'll be inside the system. You think dust will... Okay. I'm just getting pricing here. Okay. I can give up $200 for dust. I need dust in my PC. Okay. So that's CPU. That's CPU we want to get you. The RAM comes out to $249 when done this way. On the GPU side, we hadn't specifically discussed if we were going NVIDIA or AMD, but the idea was likely NVIDIA because of streaming. Sadly, AMD does not do quite as well with its video encoder. So we were going to go with a 5080 initially. Oh, no, sorry. We were going to go with the 5070 initially, but then games started coming out that required more than 10 gigs of VRAM, so it didn't make sense. So we're going to go 5070 Ti. We got the Gigabyte card. We got an Asus card. Got the... Yeah, look at that price jump. 5070 Ti, $829. 5080, $1799. Let's find a decent MSI Shadow. That's a decent one. Did they have any white cards since we got a white motherboard? That's the question. 9070 had a white motherboard. Or a white card. There we go. Eagle Ice. No, we don't want the Eagle Ice because we want that's just a 57. We want a Ti. Definitely want the Ti. It's scary. It makes me cry. I don't blame you. There's a lot of just 5070 options, but not a lot of 5070 Ti options. Yep, we're working it out. We're working it out, but it needs to be aesthetic at the same time, Glow, okay? You don't want the PC to look ugly, do you? Look at that. Nope. I typed 5070 Ti. Why are you showing me 5070s? It doesn't look like they have any white ones, which is unfortunate because I know they exist because I have a white one. So I know they exist. And there was like 5 options when I looked, but apparently not anymore. So let's just kind of go with a medium priced one. So $750. This is Micro Center. If you have any local Micro Centers, you can build it on there. You can go pick it up there. Another really good one for if you're buying them online to just get delivered. Another good one is Newegg. Micro Center does deliver though as well, so you can just sign up for delivery. $834, $739, $879. I think this $834 seems to be in the middle, so we'll just go with that. MSI makes good cards, so I think that's a trustable card. Okay, we're at $1,600. NVMe. We can take some storage from Glow's current PC for extra storage, but I still want to get at least a 1 terabyte NVMe. Crucial is not going to be making consumer products anymore, so we're going to go with the Samsung. I don't want a 4 terabyte. That's insane. $549. This was $250 like a month and a half ago. That's so gross. Where the hell are just like 1 terabyte drives? What are we doing here? There we go. Team Group 1 terabyte drive, $145. Add that bitch. We're gonna take, instead of adding an SSD, we're gonna steal the storage out of your current PC. That's what we're gonna do. Power supply, you got a 5070 Ti in there, so we need at least an 850. I like the Corsair 850 EMs. I like this one a lot. I've used 2 of them over the years, and they've worked really well. Personally, I'm an EVGA fan for power supplies, but the last one I had was not the greatest, so I've kind of put that to the wayside. So we're gonna go Corsair this time. A very odd old hard drive in mine has followed me through. So my external hard drive I have an external drive. I bought it on a Black Friday sale. It's a Western Digital. I bought it on a Black Friday sale back in like 2008. That's how old my external hard drive is. We want to go with a water cooling kit, but we don't need a big fancy water cooling kit. We can get a 360 Corsair Nautilus. Lee makes a really good one. Arctic Cooling Liquid Freeze 2. Yes, an RGB AIO. Yeah, I don't, here's the thing. I don't think Glow has the know-how to want to take off the CPU cooler to clean the fans. Right? When it gets dusty, it's much easier to be like, hey, Glow, clean out these fans. And AIO will just have the regular fans, your system fans, versus having to take off the tower cooler fans to clean a tower cooler out. So, I would rather get her an AIO, so it's like a sit and forget kind of thing. And as long as she can clean the side fans, it'll be great. I did take off the fan the one and only time I cleaned it. Did you take off a CPU fan or a side fan? Just don't get her anything with brushless fans. I'm thinking maybe we go the Lee one. Lee Hydro Shift is a little expensive though. Galahad Trinity, there we go. 120, that's not bad. Okay, so when you look at your PC, Glow, is it attached to one of the walls of the PC or is it attached to the motherboard? The wall, yeah, so I'm talking, you should have a fan over your CPU on the motherboard. And if you don't immediately know what I'm talking about, it's definitely better just to get you an AIO. Like, yeah, I'm not saying you couldn't learn it. I'm just saying I think you're gonna get a PC and you're gonna forget to clean it because everyone does. Someone's gonna remind you, be like, okay, I'm gonna clean it. But then that'll be the one thing you miss cleaning. And that is the most important thing that needs to be cleaned. So I would rather just go with the AIO. Because what an AIO does is basically it removes that fan. It just liquid cools right on the chip, so you don't have to clean that off ever at all. And then you just clean all your regular fans attached to the case like you normally would. Yeah, so we'll go with that. Operating system. I'm going to put an operating system on here. I'll tell you right now, though, you can gray key Windows, or you can install it for free and just have a watermark on the side of the screen if you want to save the $120. I'm going to put it on there because that's reasonably what the average consumer would do. Now, we need a case. It's kind of how I do best. I walk through building and I just teach her things when stuff goes wrong with it. Yeah. Okay. Do you have a case type preference you like, Glow? Do you like the standard tower cases, which is something like this with the glass sides and stuff like that? Or do you... Okay, there. Do you like the big cases that have like the side walls and a small case? Okay. Something that holds it, and well, it'll not be super condensed because we need to make sure it's at least a mid tower based on the motherboard and graphics card. You have to have size, you have to have like, these GPUs are chunky. I cannot understate how big this thing is. Like, whenever I swapped out my 3080, which I already thought the 3080 was a big card. When I went to go put in the TI, like the 5070, it was like 5 inches longer than my 3080. It's crazy. It's like the 3080 is you and the 5070 Ti is the guy she tells you not to worry about. Like that. It's literally that comparison. Okay, so if you want to condense though, we're not going to go with the Y70 Touch. We can go with something closer, like the O11 Compact is really nice. This is a really nice one. Nice glass sides and panels. And we could go with it in white to go with the theme. There's a ton of empty space in my tower. It seems silly. It's so you can add extra stuff. So, this is kind of bare bones of what I would expect. We're not adding a mouse. We're not adding... Actually. We'll go basic. Corsair K70 Core. That's just a basic ass keyboard. Glow, your keyboard should not have a power off switch for your PC. You're so right, I imagine, but it also needs to fit in RV at some point. Yeah. So, I know you can't really see it too well. That's about the price you're looking at right now. $2330.92. That'll be around the price you will be currently looking. I do have ways we can save money on this. There are definitely ways we can save money on it. But that is probably around the price you want to be looking. And then plus tax. So what is it? $2330. It's 10% tax on electronics. $2330 times 1.1. So about $2,600 after tax. Is probably where you were going to want to take your budget. Yeah, there are, if you get it on tax-free weekend or something like that, that's a thing. I don't remember what time of year it is, but that's a thing. That's also assuming you get, we just have the basic crucial overclock like combo deal, right? Yeah, it does. It gives you a number, make a goal. There are ways we can save. Obviously, you do not need this good of a motherboard. I just think you are going to be traveling. You're going to want a board that's going to last. You're going to want a board that has all the features you want. It's probably worth it to pay a little bit more for the motherboard. And MSI also has a really good RMA system. That's why I went with the MSI on both the motherboard and the GPU. We could obviously save on the storage. You could get a 512 storage. You don't need a terabyte. You would just have to, only have a handful of games installed at a time. I like the idea of a terabyte in case you want to save videos and stuff like that. We could get a cheaper case. This was a nice case, $129. I think Lana's case, when I bought Lana's case for her PC, I paid $42 for that case, I want to say. And it's a small case. Like, it's a smaller case. It wouldn't house this GPU, but we could probably find one for $60. I don't think we could do better on the power supply, I'm gonna be honest. That's a really good price for that power supply. We could go with a cheaper AIO, like a 240 millimeter, to save a few bucks. As I said, you could scrap Windows. You don't need to buy Windows. We could get you a gray key, or you could just put on a pirated version. Yeah, it's so expensive, guys. PC building right now is so expensive. This system, when I built it, my rig, when I built my PC, I built it for $500. I got a 1080 for $200 off a buddy of mine used. At the time, that was still a really good deal. They were going for about $350 on average. He gave it to me for $200, right? But I built the rest of my PC on $300. I got a case, power supply, RAM, the CPU. The CPU came with a cooler, so I didn't have to buy those separately. I had all that for the $300. I could play everything that I wanted to play. The only reason I upgraded, my first upgrade, the only reason I did it was to build Lana a computer. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to upgrade. I did not need to upgrade though, but I could justify upgrading my own graphics card if I was going to be putting my old one in a different PC. So, like, it made sense to do, but I didn't need to upgrade that GPU. So, shit, that PC could have ran Arc Raiders. I think maybe the case is the last thing I have to give you. I think that's the last thing you have, but I mean, you did. Yeah, I have the RAM. Shit, that's like $200, $300 now. Shit. No, I like having spare RAM. I have three sets of spare RAM right now. It's crazy though. Your storage is kind of icky right now, Glow. What's icky about your storage? Like, you just don't have very much, or you mean like your house space? You say storage, and I think like your computer space storage. No, I'm sure someone's done nicer things, Lana. I just couldn't have you raiding on a fucking 1050 Ti. It wasn't working. You were having too many frame drops. It was too much of a problem. Okay. So I see two different places of storage, but Steam only sees one, I think. So what you do, Glow, is can I capture this? Steam. Yeah, send me a screenshot in you can just DM it to me. I was gonna say in the Discord, but you can just DM it to me if that's easier. Yeah. So like when I go to install a game, Glow, are you telling me you have a 1.8 terabyte drive? Girl. Okay, girl. You were sitting on so much space. Okay. So, when you go to install the game, right, this is what it'll do. Okay, this is what it'll do. You click the cog, right? And then you click down on here. So you click the cog, it'll bring you to this screen. Oh, you can't see the screen. Oh. Hold on. Second window. Steam settings. Why do I have a filter on this? Oh, because of Craft Reacts. Okay. Oh, okay. So you'll click the cog and then it'll bring you to this screen. Okay. You click down on this drop down. And then you go add drive. Yep. You go add drive, and then this is what it'll, and then you click on add new folder. Let me choose another location. You add it there. Yep. That's how you add a drive. I have 3 separate Steam libraries. Oh, yeah. Oh, well. And here I was worried not getting to do anything else but Elden Ring. Yeah. You have almost 2 terabytes. That was 1.8 terabytes of free space. You were good, girl. You got space. Since I have it up, I guess let's go into it. So we need to pick a new game to play. Not necessarily today. What is all of this? Oh, it shows tools. I don't want to show tools. Fuck tools. Get tools out of here. Oh, excuse me. Actually, you know what we should do, though? You know what we should do? We should put some music back on. Let's get some music back on. There we go. So I'm not just yapping. So, our incomplete folder is down to 27. Wow, thank you so much for the bald redeem. I appreciate it. That means so much to me. Thanks, Lana. I am so welcome. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you for the lesson. I'll be a bit late. Yeah, no, go make your folder so you can play a game. So we're down to 27 games. We're still gonna be doing Minecraft on Mondays for sure. That'll be the plan. We had a collab this week, so it didn't happen, but it'll be Minecraft Mondays will be the plan. And I am gonna pick up Prime 4 since it won that poll. That'll be the next new game we buy. Will be Metroid Prime 4, and we'll play that on stream. We'll do that on a Saturday because it's supposedly like a 12-hour game. We're just gonna do that in one stream. But we need to pick another game to play off of the list of stuff we have. We have Armored Core 6, which we played, it looks like 16 hours. It looks like, I'm sure I almost beat it. I think I got hard stuck on Armored Core and stopped playing it. We have Armored Core. We have Atelier Ryza 2. Lost Legends Secret Fairy. Baldur's Gate 3 is still on here. I'm in Act 3. This is not an option. We're not playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm gonna finish that off stream. I already put 100 hours on stream. It's not on our stream options. This is a visual novel based on the Data Live anime. Disgaea for PC. We have 1 level left in Holocure to play to finish Holocure. That would be an easy one to knock off the list. That'd be an easy one to try to finish up. We have Jump King, which I'm very, very bad at. We have Trails in the Sky and Trails of Cold Steel. If we wanted to do Trails, we would be starting with Trails in the Sky. We'd be playing them in order. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is all 3 Mass Effect games. If we do this, if this is what you guys would want to do, we would be doing Mass Effect 1. Then we will play a different game, and then we would come back for Mass Effect 2. So it would be, if we go Mass Effect, we do every other entry, basically. So we're not just hard stuck on Mass Effect for 200 hours straight. Path of Exile, I've only played 3 hours. I'd play about 20 hours of PoE is what I want to do to get this off my list. We got Persona 4 Golden. Star Ocean: The Divine Force, Shuffle, which, while it's my favorite anime, this visual novel's not the greatest for stream safe content. Yeah, so Star Ocean: The Divine Force. We tried to play this on stream one time. We did one stream of it, and then I just stopped. I tried to play it on Steam Deck, and it ran terribly on Steam Deck. Can't recommend against it enough. We have Jedi Fallen Order. Again, we did one stream of this on October 2024. That's not right. It was way longer than that. I must have just launched the game in October. It was like 2023 or something like that. We played this. We played Summer Pockets already. We got a bad ending though, so I didn't take it off my backlog. We want to get a good ending. We could play some more Sunhaven on stream. Tales of Symphonia. We could finish Yutawa Ramono Prelude to the Fallen. Again, we started this on stream. We played a bit of this on stream. Valheim is on here. If you guys want Valheim, I'm going to set up the bingo board. I'm going to do Valheim bingo. Will be the plan. We'll do a few bingo streams. Will be the plan for Valheim. Valkyria Chronicles, which is a strategy RPG set in, I believe it's mocking it's like an alternate universe World War I, I believe is what it is. Valkyrie Elysium. Again, we played this on stream a little while ago, a couple months ago. It looks like 6 months ago, 7 months ago. And then The Witcher Enhanced Edition is also on here. It says I've played 5 hours of this game. I think I've played 20 minutes of this game and I just left it on at one point because I don't know how to play this game. This is old BioWare engine though. BioWare did not make it. CD Projekt Red made it, but they used the BioWare engine. Look at that new volume. Glow has a Steam library. Let's fucking go. Look at that space. Space. Yay. I don't know why it turned into Yestate, but we're going with it. I'm not swapping that. That seems silly enough. Number 1 Disgaea, 2 Valbino, 3 PoE for me so far. Valkyria Chronicles is an okay game. I never played it, but I watched Isaac play it several times. Yeah, so I've played 4 all the way through. I played Valkyria Chronicles 4. I played like 16 hours this one. This isn't the whole list. There are a couple things not on this list. This is our whole Steam library. Give me 1 second to get the Switch options. Okay. Look at that. I went to get my Switch games. I didn't even honk at you this time, chat. That's crazy. Yeah, they made 4 of them, yeah. So, on the Switch options, we have Pokemon Violet. Never finished it. I hear the Switch 2 update makes it playable. We do have a Switch 2. Triangle Strategy. It's a strategy RPG. Very similar to games like Fire Emblem, Valkyria Chronicles, all those type of games, SRPGs. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Oh, this shouldn't be in there. I just talked about that. Disgaea 5 Complete is in here on this. Persona 5 Tactica. Fire Emblem Engage and Fire Emblem 3 Houses, which are also both strategy RPGs. Chat, can you tell I like strategy RPGs enough that I bought them, but not enough that I actually played them? It's actually a really bad habit. See, I know I like these games, but there's such an investment to get into and start playing that I just buy them and don't play them. Sky 1 is better than 5 in my opinion, but I'd not be upset with either choice. Yeah, so there's one last option. It is our only PS5 game on the list, and that's Stellar Blade. So if you want me to play Gunnar Souls, that can be an option. Gunnar Souls is also an option. I love solo. I played maybe like 6 or 7 hours Solar Blade. I loved it. It was so much fun. But like, I understand why people play the game. It's by the team, for anyone who knows it. It's by Shift Up, which is the team that makes what is it, Nikke Goddess of Victory or whatever, like the gacha game with all the extremely attractive women in it. That's Shift Up. That's the same developer. They basically went, we're gonna make the most Gooner game possible and make tons and tons of money off our Gooner gacha game, and we're gonna use that to subsidize making actual games without microtransactions. Solar Blade doesn't have microtransactions in it. It is like, don't get me wrong, Eve is attractive. She is based off the director of the game's real life wife, so it's a real person she's based off of. But they made like an action RPG with no microtransactions or anything like that in it, off the funding from their Gooner microtransaction game, which I think that's a good meta for it, right? Like, imagine, you know, Tencent comes out and they're like, yeah, all this money we made off Genshin, we're going to come out and we're going to make a good single player experience with that money. I think that'd be fucking awesome. Because yeah, they'll get money for people buying that single player game, but like, it gets you a new experience off of your whales from your gacha. I think it's such a cool idea. More companies should do it. So I'm thinking, lengthwise, how long is Disgaea? 1 verse 5. How long to beat? Disgaea 1 complete is average 36 hours, leisurely 47. That's more like what we would probably have, 47. And then Disgaea 5 says about 53 hours, but that's not what I care about. I need to see leisurely, about 76 leisurely. No way could I do one in under 50 minutes or 50 hours. Yeah, I don't know. If not, I haven't played it in so long. I haven't beaten it ever. Once, one of the only ones I haven't beaten, and then clearly 5. I did 2, 3, and 4. I think were the ones I played. I started 5, and you want to know why 5 is on this list? I stopped playing 5 because I had the characters and weapons and shit like that came with it, like from the other games, and they were just like so fucking OP that it was making all the fights a joke in the early game, to where I just got disinterested with it. I think if we play 5, we're going to not use any of the characters. Like, they had the characters and stuff from like 1 through 4 in 5, just kind of given to you. And the thing was, I hadn't played any of them in so long that like, I didn't even think about it. I just kind of put characters in, and I was playing it. I was like, oh, I recognize them. And I was like, oh, this is why we're steamrolling everything. It's because we were a little OP. I'm thinking I'll put a poll up in the Discord probably after stream. If you're not in there, !Discord. We'll put a poll up, probably 4 games. I think we'll probably do Disgaea 1/5 as an option, and if that wins, we'll do a tiebreaker poll on which of those 2 it is. We'll probably that sounds multi-vote for all games, single vote to narrow it down better. I will likely do a multi-vote because it's basically gauging interest in what people are interested in watching, basically. like what they'd be more interested in watching. So multi-vote makes sense to do. Because a single vote may just steamroll one if, like if, I don't know, if everyone specifically wanted to watch Stellar Blade, right? Like, even on a multi-vote, it should still show interest there. Because it gauges, even if it's not the winner, it goes, okay, even if this isn't the winner, maybe this can be the next one in line or 2 down the line kind of a thing. Yeah, so I think we'll do Disgaea 1/5 in there. I think I'll put Stellar Blade on the list. That knocks out my a Switch game and a PS5 game as options. I'll probably put either Star Wars or Armored Core simply because they're both shorter games. I believe they both clock in at like, what is Armored Core 6? Core 6, how long I want to say it's like 20 hours. 28 hours to do everything. It's 17.5 for main story, so like less than 30 hours. Or Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and that's about 22-17 for main story. Yeah, so that'll probably be it. It'll probably be, yeah, we'll do I want to put another strategy RPG on the list? I have so many of them. I have so many strategy RPGs. Maybe we'll do Violet. Maybe we'll put Violet on the list. Yeah, strategy RPGs are amazing. I love them. They're just usually, and the reason they sit is because I have to be in the mood for them a lot of times. Putting them on stream is one thing. Like, we can have fun with it. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna just do it now while I'm thinking about it. Let's just go ahead and add a poll. Create a poll. Which will be the that's too long-winded. Next backlog game. We said Disgaea 1/5. Stellar Blade. Add another answer. Armored Core 6. Jedi the Fallen Order. What are we thinking? If we do another strategy RPG, would you guys prefer... Oh, I said Pokemon Violet. Never mind. I said Pokemon. Pokemon Violet. And I'm thinking triangle strategy. That sound good? Triangle strategy for the other SRPG? I think so. You don't know triangle strategy? Oh man. It's is it Tri-Ace? It is triangle. It's square. Let's read it. Balance weapons and wits to prove your convictions. You know what I miss? You know what I miss so much? Going around and being able to see and learn about what a game is about by the fucking box. Why? It's just not a thing anymore. You can have Harrigan. It's just not a thing. I'm gonna leave this poll for 3 days. I'll allow multiple answers. I'll allow multiple answers. Dude, why is 2 days not an option? I want it for 48 hours is what I want. We'll do 3 days. Boom. Okay. Make sure you go in and vote in the Discord. Again, ! Discord. There are 6 options to pick, technically 7 because Disgaea 1/5. And we'll do that for our next dedicated. None of these No, that's not true. You know Pokemon. You have to know Pokemon. Oh my gosh. You know none of them. That's crazy. To be fair, it's stuff that's all still in the backlog. So it's most likely less, I want to say less popular. A lot of these are really popular titles. But overall, like less popular. Box inserts. Yes, box inserts. Box inserts are so good. Melty, do you understand how anime Disgaea is? All the weebs should be cheering for Disgaea. What do you mean? Disgaea is it's so weeb. It's so weeby. Oh, Chew used to play. I mean, I did technically play it on stream when it came out, but I only played like I think 5 or 6 hours on stream. Yeah, ads in 1 minute. Oh. Yeah, I know. There's a reason they're on the backlog. Like, are you sure I shouldn't stream Final Fantasy X? I don't. Okay, so here's the thing. I think you would have a good time streaming Final Fantasy X, assuming we can rein in the backseaters and you don't get spoiled. The thing is, Final Fantasy X is a extremely, and I cannot emphasize enough, extremely spoilable game. It's a fantastic game, but it like all I know is the big sword, my man. Yes, and that's good. I would love for you to go in and play the game with that all you know going in. My concern is the actual. If this was Melty's chat, I wouldn't even have this concern. Your chat likes to spoil things. Like, not your chat, like not your chatters. You have all these random people who just come in to just try to spoil things in backseat. It's so weird. I hate it. I hate it. To be fair, if they spoil it, I will. Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm basing it just off of being in both of your all streams for a good while. It doesn't happen very often in Melty stream. I feel like it happens quite frequently in Glow stream that I'm like, am I banning this person today? They're close. They're close to getting it over a spoiler. Because the thing is, they'll veil spoilers in questions or advice, and it's still a spoiler that way, you know? Glow check, it's weird. Yeah, it's terrible to say, because I would argue that some of the nicest people do show up to Glow stream and have a good time and hang out, and it always gets real weird when like the weirdos show up in droves some days, man. There was, I think Boogie posted it one day. There was one day it was like 12 people he had to ban in like a single stream because people were just being fucking weird. And for anyone who doesn't know, like, Glow is not like a even close to a lewd tuber or anything like that. Like, not like you could argue some people will go and they tote a line with like innuendos or how they approach topics. That's not Glow. Glow very much doesn't generally do any of that kind of stuff, and it's just the weirdest thing. Like, you make silly jokes that have sexual connotation to them. That's very different than joking around sexually. I don't know if that makes sense. But I feel like it should. Like if I make a dick joke, no one thinks I'm trying to actually talk about their penis, right? They know it's a dick joke. Like that's the like you're not making dick jokes, but that's the kind of like thing as where there will be a lot of streamers who just will, you know, kind of insinuate things. It's weird. And not to like the streamers aren't weird, to be clear. The chat gets weird about it. Parasocialism is a whole can of worms, and that's fine. I mean, Melty's a good example of someone who gets all over the board of people getting kind of weird about just how they act sometimes, and it's a little much, I think, some days, like to just try to exist online and then have people judging you for it. I don't know. Buckle up when I go back to date everything. Oh shit. Oh shit. I skipped it. I skipped date everything. I debated it. I really debated it, but so many people were playing it at the time. Like I heard about it. I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. I'd like to stream it. And then like, I want to say Melty streamed it. I want to say Chewy streamed it. I want to say Boogie streamed it. I want to say Glow streamed it. Like everyone was streaming it. And so I was just like, I'm seeing so much of this game on other people's streams that I don't feel compelled to play it. I can just watch people play it, which is fine. Saved me the $10 or whatever it was. You remember the time someone asked me what brand my model's tights were? Oh god, I don't remember that, but I could absolutely see it happening. I don't recall it, but it's a very real possibility. Like, I mean, we don't get the "is it pink" comments very often. We don't get, you know, stuff all the way out there very often in chats, but there's a lot of borderline comments. You know, nice tits is the common one. I think that's the big one. It's just first time chatter. Nice tits. Oh, I was glad to drop it first when I realized I was playing too many games. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you get in. I don't know if you guys have this problem. So if I play too many games, I'll finish none. So I tend to try to stick to just a couple games at a time. And there was a point where, due to streaming, I think I got up to 11 games I was trying to play through at one time, and just nothing was getting done. I was playing. I mean, some people were around, like Valheim. Like I played Valheim over the course of like 11 months or something like that. And I only have 166 hours. I say only have, to be clear, that is a lot of playtime. I'm not saying it's not a lot of playtime, but over the course of like almost a full year, it was like, I want to say it was like 4 to 8 hours a week was all that was, right? Like if that, you know, Sunhaven's kind of the same thing. We got 48 hours. I've only streamed that a couple times. Why does no one watch Sunhaven, chat? Why does everyone hate Sunhaven? What's up with that? Like, I don't get it. I feel like everyone loves Stardew Valley, but the same energy is not there for Sunhaven. And it confuses me because I think Sunhaven has a better aesthetic. I think Sunhaven looks better. Like, I don't understand. Maybe this is me being a Stardew hater because I don't own Stardew. I've never played Stardew. I've seen a lot of people stream Stardew. I think Sunhaven, even if you don't think it looks like the gameplay looks better, I think Sunhaven is a more stylistically stylistically appealing game. That's what I was going for. I still need to finish Stardew. Yeah, I mean, I need to finish Sunhaven. I am in the 3rd area in Sunhaven now. I just unlocked, it's like I want to say it's like a demon town or something like that. I got a farm unlocked there now. I'm only in the 1st year summer though. I don't think I was around when you started. And that's the thing. And I don't understand. Yeah, it's horrible CCV. So like, and I want to be very clear. I do not blame anyone for not coming in and watching the stream when I play Sunhaven. Like, Sunhaven in general just does not do well on the platform. Like, I've looked at other people streaming it. I've looked at the category and stuff. The Sunhaven compared to Stardew Valley just does really bad on stream. Like, because I could see that coming off as a rant, like, gosh, chat, why don't you come watch me play this game that I really want to play? Why do you hate me so much? No, I'm not saying that. Sunhaven just doesn't do well on stream, and I don't understand, because Stardew does phenomenal in the category. Like, Stardew does so well. Like, if we go to Twitch right now, type in Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley. We have 1K viewers, right? On the category. Sunhaven. Not Sunhaven, Sunhaven the game. Sunhaven, the category. You guys want to take a guess what the category is for Sunhaven right now? 16. Stardew has 1,000 viewers. Sunhaven has 16 total viewers. To be fair, it is literally one streamer. There is one streamer live with Sunhaven right now, and they have all 16. Right. You said Field of Mystria? Field of Mystria. Did I spell field wrong? I did spell field wrong. Field of Mystria has 2.3. That's not doing bad. That's not doing bad today, but in general, Sunhaven just, I don't know, Sunhaven just doesn't do well. We could pick up this, yeah. Boom, yeah. Make this video bigger. Oh my gosh. Why is it scaling so weird? This video we're listening to. Look at how many people are actually playing it. For which one? For Sunhaven? Or for Stardew? Stardew Valley? I mean, there's quite a few. Is it more than one page? I mean, hold on. Yeah, so like, well, now I don't want it that big. I'm so silly. Boom. Like, this is the Stardew category right now. But it's like one viewer, two viewer, two viewer, one viewer. Verse. Where does it? 9? Okay, so this is 9, 10, 16. Do we have anything? 16, 21, 13, 10, 14. I mean, do I have it? Viewers high to low. 103 looks like the high end. 48, 48. Fields of Mystria. Oh. Am I crazy, or did that just go from 2.3K to 95 viewers? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's That is that the Field of Mystery like standard? That kind of the vibe you get whenever you play it. Oh man, that's rough. Like, and again, like I don't like to. It's weird because I don't like to complain about Twitch stats and stuff like that from it just seems like you're being a whiny bitch, right? When you're like, but the CCV on this thing, but it's like it is something you have to consider when picking a game to play. And I don't know. It's unfortunate that some games of the seemingly same category do so much worse than other ones. You know, like right now, Valheim's probably doing pretty well. What do we got? 374 viewers for Valheim, right? 374 viewers for Valheim. What is another survival craft game though? I will say Minecraft, obviously. Minecraft. 92,000 viewers in Minecraft. Right? Like, what's another one? Rust. 2.3K. That's not too bad. Anyone have another one? Another survival craft game that's big? Is Island? Is that right? No. Island? Is that the name of it? No. Raft. That's what I'm thinking of. Raft. What does Raft do? 2.4K? Try a shit. What was it called? Shit. What was it called? No results found for shit. What was it called, Lana? I tried. Avowed? Is Avowed the one where you avoid the mist? Nope. Avowed has 2 whole viewers though. I know what you're talking about. Let's Game It Out did a video on it, right? I feel like I know. I feel like I know what you're talking about. Make. God damn it. I don't. Why are we like this? Why? I was trying to see if this is a theme for them or not, but it's no videos found. Enshrouded, that is correct. It's probably not reportable. It feels reportable. It feels reportable. That feels very, at the minimum, that's extremely distasteful to have as your title. 344 for Enshrouded. The thing, and the only reason I didn't report it is it didn't actually mention any slurs. The word slurs is not reportable. The title is deplorable. I think that's horrible and in very bad taste, but he didn't actually put any slurs in the title. And I immediately muted it because I'm not going to risk having slurs come across my screen by having him unmuted to find out if I should report him. So it's not, well, he had 385 viewers, you know, is what that said. Am I crazy? Oh, 385 followers. Yeah, 1 person was watching. That's right. I confused the numbers I saw. Yeah, it's just, that's so bad. That's so distasteful at the very minimum. Vile on the actuality. Enshrouded 344. This was on my list of ones to get. I have this one and I have, oh, what's that one? It's Lana, you were gonna get it and then you didn't. Oh, what is the name? If I type in survival craft on Steam, is it gonna pop up? It looked really good. You were gonna get it and you didn't because of school, and then by the time we heard back about it, something said it wasn't good. It'd be nice if it came up quickly. Now, I've mentioned it before to you that I was going to pick it up. And at one point you were like, nah, you probably shouldn't. Nightingale. Nightingale was what it was. Nightingale. Because when it was first announced, it looked interesting. $23 viewers in the category. 23 viewers. Yeah, see, so this is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels whiny to complain and about categories and stuff people watching, because obviously all you need is like, you stream the game, people show up for you, especially if you do variety content. Obviously there will be more viewers in the category at that point. That gets it pushed higher, because like the whole thing with Twitch is on the homepage. On the homepage, like, it kind of caters to you now, but like this top stuff is all stuff that they want you to watch, and so that's all stuff that's kind of irrelevant. That's all based on actually categories that they're pushing. Oh my god, dude! Between Koi and Melty, ASMR is still one of the categories it thinks I want to watch. It's crazy. It's crazy that two people have tricked the platform into thinking I actually watch ASMR in any capacity. It feels like such slander. It feels like such slander that it thinks it's a category that I rate super highly when I don't like actually watch or listen to ASMR. But you do though. I don't though. Like, it's I don't though. I like anytime Koi raids out, I pretty much immediately have to mute the person, because like it is too much. It's too over the top for me. Like I feel embarrassed hearing those sounds come out of those people's mouths, right? Like, and I don't have any shame, right? Like you got to do a lot, but there's just something about how people approach ASMR that makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong, right? Like it's like the person walks in while you have the porn on kind of thing. It's like, oh, am I supposed to be doing this, right? Like it's that kind of vibe, and I don't like it. I'm not ashamed of you. You don't. Here's the thing, Mel. I don't ever feel that when I pop into your ASMR stuff, because it's not that over the top with stuff. Like, I'm very specifically talking about what the majority of Twitch ASMR does. You don't generally do how Twitch ASMR approaches it. You do more how YouTube ASMR approaches things, which does go on the a little bit safer side of things, while still, like, don't get me wrong, suggestive, absolutely, but it's never really like to the point where I'm like, oh, I should be concerned if you're getting banned for this. To be fair, you still probably will get banned because Twitch hates VTubers and ASMR, but I'm generally not concerned about it, you know. But like, I don't know. It was so awkward. Yeah. Is it because ASMR used to be shamed so much? No, I mean, it's like so Koi, when Koi does ASMR, she does like fun sounds and stuff like that, and redeems and talks to people, and that's pretty tame. But then she'll raid someone that seems like a safe person, and they'll immediately like go into a spiel about how they're gonna dominate you or something, right? Like while whispering into the multifaceted mic and licking your ear and slobbing on it, and I'm just like, okay, I've been here 12 seconds and I'm already uncomfortable by this. Like, if I had joined the stream at the start and it was eased into it, you know, we had a bit of time together, maybe I wouldn't feel this way. But it's like anytime I get popped into an ASMR stream, it always becomes immediately over the top. You know, like Melty will be like, I will watch a video, and I'll be like, okay, I like that video, that was solid. But it's usually like it's a script. It's very much like you're in it for the script and the vibes the script gives, and you're going with it. Versus like Twitch ASMR is very much like towards specific chatters, and I think it gets a little too parasocial and weird for me to enjoy in. You know, get your bag, girl, do it. You know, like do what they want to do. That's fine. It's just not for me. The category is just in general not for me. I do love some good wood soup. I like wood soup. It's something like stirring a bowl of water with the wooden beads and such. Oh, okay. Okay. Licky in the holes. No, thank you. And now we'll do some degradation. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's a time and place, and for me, it's, you know, it's with I don't know. I feel slandered that this is in my top 2. I actually don't know how just chatting is up there either, if I'm being honest. I don't know who all I watch that actually does just chatting a super lot, but I mean, people do, but usually game categories are a little bit higher up there. So yeah, we'll be ending here shortly. We should find someone to raid out to. Actually, I was gonna stop a little bit ago, but we got to yapping about Twitch categories and viewership. You're bad. It might be, but I feel like it needs to be more than just one person. I mean, I'm in just chatting right now. Like, it's a good category, don't get me wrong. It's interesting that actually I don't know. Maybe it's because I do just chatting sometimes, because Baldur's Gate 3 is on here and I don't watch anyone play. Oh, god damn it. That's because of Koi too. Never mind. I watched Koi play Baldur's Gate. Interesting. I'm kind of surprised some other things aren't up here over Baldur's Gate, but it is what it is. I like just chatting a lot depending on the subject. I mean, yeah, I mean, I like to chat. I like to watch just chatting streams. I know a common theme for a lot of people will be to do, like, they'll start their stream and they'll chat for like 30 minutes to an hour, and then they'll play a game for a couple hours, and then they'll chat again for another hour, and that's pretty popular. Like, it's a very popular category. We're gamers here. We tend to game. We tend to play games. But like chatting plus art, yeah, that is a good one. I can't draw though, so that's unfortunate. I should draw more though, to be fair. I'm not helping myself any by not drawing that much. Oh. Okay. Well, I think I yapped a bit too much tonight to have time to play Warframe. We were going to try Warframe out. We'll move it. We'll do Warframe. Maybe we'll do Warframe on Friday. I just mean in general. Yeah. Okay. Who is live? Is anyone on? Potato's doing Silk Song. Volps is doing Hightail. Ooh. I wanted to check out Hightail. This is, from my understanding, Hightail is based on people who did Minecraft mods. So I think we'll raid out to Volps and go see what she's doing in Hightail and kind of get a vibe if we want to pick it up ourselves. Thank you everyone for coming and hanging out. I know we didn't do a whole lot. We just did a couple reacts today and yapped, built Glow a PC on microcenter.com. So she has a budget in mind. I will catch you guys on Friday. Tomorrow I'm going to take off. I'm going to finish editing a video. So you guys have a good one. We'll see you Friday. And then Saturday, we're going to be doing collabs with Glow for her birthday. So make sure to come out for Glow's birthday as well. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.